That music tells you that Jamaica Magazine is on, and it's time for us to share with you information you need to know. Today we zoom in on the agricultural sector and the work of the Jamaica Library Service in Trelawney. You don't want to miss today's show, so please stay with us. I'm Audrey Williams. Welcome.
Some marine, you know. Yeah?
Yeah, man, I have the package 60,000.
60,000?
Yeah.
How much I want?
Yeah, man, 2 bays I want, man.
Yeah, man, no one else.
$5
Yeah, man. Same. Alright,
What one, cat?
you don't know, I sit downtown the other day there.
Oh.
All the brethren, them man, we buy and sell marina. One of them I sell a 6-pack for $1,000 and the next one I sell one for $200.
So where am I?
Buy 5 of them for $1,000. Think them can't rob me.
So Uncle Fancy is the same $1,000 you would spend to get the 6? Seriously?
Tell them again now, my math brains.
Math cone.
Math count.
Sponsored by the Ministry of Education.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, February 16. Over $1 billion has been allocated to the Citizen Security and Justice Program, CSJP3, to carry out crime and violence prevention initiatives in targeted communities in the new fiscal year. This allocation forms part of the capital budget of the National Security Ministry and is outlined in the 2017-2018 estimates of expenditure now before the House of Representatives. Among other things, the money will be spent on constructing a community center, developing community safety plans, and providing vocational skills training for 474 beneficiaries. It will also provide support for students to access tertiary and secondary education, conduct job readiness training, and provide placement services to targeted beneficiaries. The CSJP3 will also facilitate the training of 100 community parent trainers and continue the provision of violence interruption services in 40 communities. Starting this September, the Ministry of Education will be fully covering the examination fees for secondary students on path and wards of the state. The policy applies to the CSEC, NVQJ, and Caribbean Vocational Qualification CVQ examinations. Education Minister Senator Ruel Reid made the announcement in a press briefing this week. He also revealed that the ministry's regular grant for primary schools will be increased from $850 to $2,500 per student as of September. The ministry had previously increased the maintenance grant for all primary schools by 40%.
In addition, increased support has been provided for further infrastructural development and the maintenance of selected primary schools.
Meanwhile, Minister Ruel Reid has also announced that work on the revamped National Values and Attitude campaign is far advanced. He says it is hoped that the revived program will be rolled out before the start of the next school year.
We really feel, based on what's happening to us as a society, we really need to come together and let us roll out a major national campaign on values and attitudes so that the positive behavior that we'd like to see dominate our country at all levels are promulgated, encouraged, and incentivized.
The campaign will promote good role models for children in school and the community, and appoint values and attitude champions in schools and other organizations. The Ministry of Agriculture has earmarked the Sidney Pagan Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics Academy in St. Elizabeth to be the main producers of agricultural items for schools in the northern section of the parish. Minister without portfolio J.C. Hutchinson made the announcement during a recent tour of the institution.
We want to see Sidney Pagan as the hub in providing agricultural produce for the northern part of St. Elizabeth. And what I mean by this, we have schools in the northern part of this parish which are in need of agricultural produce. We want Sidney Pagan to be the one to provide much of these products that are necessary.
Minister Hutchinson says this move will also facilitate the breakfast feeding program for schools in that section of the parish.
We want to provide in every school a breakfast program. And for the northern part of St. Elizabeth, you are providing chicken, you are providing eggs, you are providing milk, and we are going to be asking you to be part of that program in making sure that you provide some of these products to the other primary schools.
He says the ministry will be supporting the school to ensure it can meet that demand as soon as possible. And finally, Agriculture Minister Carl Samuda is urging livestock farmers to support the continued rollout of the National Animal Identification and Traceability System, NAITS. Launched in 2014, NAITS is a major step by the government to advance the implementation of an effective cattle traceability system. It stipulates the registration of farms and establishments rearing cattle and mandates that all animals be affixed with ear tags and assigned passports. Minister Samuda says its implementation is putting the sector on the right path for development.
This is a good and valuable program, and we must continue to support it.
He was speaking at the recent launch of a public relations and advertising campaign for NAITS. The campaign aims to intensify stakeholder support for and compliance with the program in order to implement it on privately owned farms and among small cattle holders. To date, over $550,000 has been spent under the IDB-funded program, and more than 9,000 heads of cattle have been tagged. And that's it for GIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
We want a productive Jamaica. We are not productive Jamaicans. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity is the way to go for all us Jamaicans. Small business, big business, old and young, we are tell every woman and man. We want growth and prosperity for a better nation with a building plan. So we can build our product and sell our product and put more money in our hand. Our economy can rise to a level and build a better nation. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity to move forward on this land. Productivity, that's the way to go, we should understand. Productivity.
Productivity, pathway to prosperity. A message brought to you by the Jamaica Productivity Center, a department of the Ministry of Labor and Social Security.
This financial year, government will be spending over $11 million to combat farm theft.
The Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries is looking to employ the use of drone technology in the agriculture sector to provide useful data to drive production and productivity. Collaborating with local company DNC Drones, Minister without Portfolio J.C. Hutchinson held a demonstration with farmers in Low River, Trelawney in August. It showed the farmers that the drones will be able to assess damage to their sector from natural disasters such as a flood and help them identify measures to boost crop yield.
What we are looking for the drone to do is that once we have crop damage after a hurricane or flood, we usually find that when the estimates come in, we find that the estimates are not usually correct, because many of the extension officers can't reach the areas where the damage is. With the drone, we are able to go over and identify all the crops, all the animals that have been lost, and bring back the picture within a day.
Director of DNC Drones, Nigel Davies, said this type of drone technology is called precision agriculture,
which basically is collecting data in real time, analyzing that data, and then interpreting data to advise the farmer as to the status of his crop, which is basically his nutrient contents in his crop, the moisture content in his field, and how much he has. Because this technology can also count the number of hills of yam, potato plants, tomato plants in the field. We can assess, let's say, the number of animals that died. We can measure that. We can tell you that, wait a minute, that these guys had 20 acres of yam here, and we knew that 6 months ago it was 50 hills of yams. We now can say he lost 50 hills of yams. So the drone technology is used widely in disaster management.
Other benefits of the drones include giving a clear picture of crops under production and identifying areas with irrigation needs and crops that are lacking in nutrients.
We have what we call a multispectral camera, which is this little camera on this particular drone, and it takes pictures of the plants. As you well know, plant leaves basically absorb sunlight and reflect sunlight. So this is a special camera that rejects infrared or near infrared, and then it can use that data using an algorithm to tell us how much nitrogen, how much potassium, how much phosphorus, or the lot thereof in a plant. We also can tell you the moisture content in the field.
Now, if that can be done, we will be able to tell the farmer what needs to be done with his different crops. And with that, we are looking at seeing how we can not only increase production, but we can increase productivity. So with the technology, we are looking to see if we can bolster agriculture.
The drone demonstration in Trelawney is the first of an island-wide campaign by the Agriculture Ministry to sensitize farmers about the benefits of the technology.
We feel that it can be able to counteract praedial larceny in a certain way, and we are going to see how we can get it going so that we are able to counteract praedial larceny for the farmers.
We can identify cows or any animals, as the case may be, that may be hidden anywhere. Let's say, for example, Master Storm. You know Master Storm only have 5 goats in his field, but all of a sudden, in the backyard, he might have another 10. We can survey that area and identify the number of cows or goats, as the case may be, using our thermal imaging camera. We can't solve the problem, but we can aid in recovery of animals or monitor a man's farm. Minister, we're going to work with you and try to streamline the technology to ensure that we can attain that goal.
I think the drone is going to make a big difference as far as us moving forward in agriculture. I want to see a revolutionization of agriculture in this country.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Up next, how government has been making water available to farming communities.
Farmers, the lifeline of the food chain. Water, the precious resource that helps to grow the food we love. Put them together and we get an agriculture sector that will produce on a consistent and sustainable level. So the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries is continuously implementing projects to connect farmers with water through initiatives like the Government of Jamaica Adaptation Fund Program. The agriculture component of the GOJ Adaptation Fund Program is to build farmers' resilience against climate change. With over $250 million Jamaican dollars in funding, farmers in vulnerable communities are being trained in best practice methods such as land husbandry and equipped for rainwater harvesting and improved irrigation infrastructure. Beneficiaries are small farmers in the parishes of Trelawney, St. Mary, Manchester, St. Catherine, St. Thomas, St. Anne, and Clarendon. We journeyed into the hills of Low River in southern Trelawney to look at the work being done to harvest and distribute water to the predominantly yam farming community.
The Low River Water Harvesting and Irrigation Scheme is just under $2 million. One of the systems that has been most far-reaching, the fact is that to date we have just about 70 householders that have been connected to the system, and that is directly impacting about 350 community members. This system comprises of an entombment. What we have done, we have improved the entombment. We have built a wall across this area here, about 5 to 6 feet in depth and about 12 feet across, and that has improved the water storage capacity significantly. It was about 9 feet prior to the intervention, and now the 6 feet that we have added brings it to about 14 feet in depth.
To increase the flow of the water from the hill, the 3-inch pipes which connected the system before were changed to 6-inch pipes.
And that is what accounts for the significant pressure that we observe down in the community.
Prior to the improved water system, community members would have to come here and catch water for domestic use, while the farmers had to go to the river to catch water for irrigation purposes.
So you no longer have to go to the river to take up water?
Me not think so.
That's the water that the farm
the
pipe run, everything going in process. We don't have to go to the river. We don't have to pay the extra money for you to carry the water.
I think this water system would help us better now.
Presently, we have an approximately 470 farmers who benefit from the system. These farmers presently cultivate some 267 hectares of land. We are encouraging farmers to farm what we call climate-smart agriculture. And this project certainly is a way to assist these farmers in order for them to produce all year round and in order for them to support, especially the import substitution program that the government is presently promoting.
The Low River Water Project was started in 2014 by the residents and Councillor of the Lorimer's Division, Paul Patmore. By enhancing the water system, the Government of Jamaica Adaptation Fund program was able to not only increase the flow of water, but also ran pipes along the main, and the residents took it a step further.
They have gone ahead and invested in pipes, in black tanks, to take the water from our distribution line into their household. So this is a real partnership between the community and the project. Many of the farmers have testified that they are able to go back into production, expand their production, and quite a number of householders are now living more comfortable in terms of having access, increased access to water, both for irrigation as well as domestic purposes. The greenhouse that was out of operation because of the lack of water, preparation is being made as we speak to recommission that greenhouse into production. Transportation comes as far as from St. Anne, Clarendon, Manchester to collect water, to carry back to those communities to service farmers as well as community householders for domestic as well as irrigation use.
The next phase of the Low River Water Project is to connect the farmers with on-farm irrigation systems.
Nobody want to plant the corn. Everybody want to read the band. Who you are go blame it on when it's a next man you are deep in pan. Well, you're wrong.
Farmers, let us be serious about praedial larceny. It is affecting all of us. If you are aware of incidents of praedial larceny, make contact with your local police station or call Crime Stop at 311. Praedial larceny is everybody's business.
No mind if me stall. Them no business if me back against the wall. This a living sometime making me bad.
Trelawney has a rich history, and the Parish Library captures the information quite well. They presented it to us, and now it's our turn to share it with you.
Scores of persons, including JLS staff and key stakeholders, gathered at the Trelawney Parish Library for the staging of the Memory of the Parish event, which included an exhibition entitled Preserving the Past, Honoring the Future.
The Memory of the Parish project is a national project that was implemented by the Jamaica Library Board on February 6, 2007 as a pilot program in 3 selected parishes, namely St. Elizabeth, Portland, and Trelawney. The aim of the project is to record for posterity little known facts about the social and cultural history of each parish, including information about notable persons, events, buildings, places, artifacts, and memorabilia.
The exhibition highlighted the fact that stories from the past times are capsules of invaluable information and a tangible source of tourism revenue for the parish.
We are very fortunate in Trelawney to have a fantastic town, which a lot of Georgian buildings, both stone structures and wooden structures, as well as, of course, the port, and that will create the buy-in for tourists to be able to come and hopefully enjoy Falmouth and the history of Falmouth as a living, breathing part of tourism.
The Trelawney Parish Library has positively impacted the lives of many influential persons.
I, first of all, benefited as a student, both in the primary school and especially in the high school, by going to the library to do my homework, going to the library to do my research. I went to the library in St. James. I went to the library here in Trelawney. After I finished my high school, I came to work at the Trelawney Parish Library, and I had a very formative experience because that is where I was able to consolidate my love for books, for research, for literature, for reading, and that I have built on now through my academic career.
And his favorite memory?
My favorite memory of the parish is being a youngster at the William Knibb Memorial Baptist Church. Very historic church, based in the center of the town of Falmouth.
For this staging of the Memory of the Parish, partnership played an integral role. The tourism product development company, TPDCO, was one such partner.
The Jamaica Library Service, certainly the Trelawney Parish Library Network, is one of the partners that we have for an initiative that is being done in TPDCO for the financial year 2016-2017. And one of those activities, there are several activities, but one of those activities is actually what we call a tourism corner. We're establishing a tourism corner in all of the 5 libraries in the network, from Clarkstown, Duncan's, Wakefield, and of course Albertone, and the main library here in Falmouth.
Through the Global Libraries ICT project, the Trelawney Parish Library is able to provide its users with state-of-the-art ICT resources. Here are their library stories.
I did a computer course here, and it was very, very good.
The computers there are faster, more efficient, more user-friendly, and also the Wi-Fi is much more faster on those computers, so it's a great upgrade to the system.
History matters as a means of shaping our journey forward and showing all people the hope that burns throughout generations. It is this hope that thrives and ensures the preservation of the built and social history of the parish of Trelawney.
I expect at the end of the exhibition that persons can see that the library is really into what is happening in the parish. We have their interests. We are an information institution, and we are providing information for them to learn about their parish.
Our libraries are hugely important to our communities.
No, son. A verb is an action word.
Parents need to become more involved in their children's education.
Parents are the first and in many cases the most important teachers.
Read with your children. Review their schoolwork. Visit their school.
Tapping and rapping and slapping, I said.
Nice. High five. Woo! A good education will never decay.
Nicky baby, come here. You understand, so I have to send you to your auntie so you can go to school and turn out better than me.
When I go be night time.
Piggy, come finish your work.
If you or anyone you know has been a victim of human trafficking, call 811 or 1-888-PROTECT. Be wise. Open your eyes. Spot them. Stop them. A message brought to you by the National Task Force Against Trafficking in Persons.
We are at the end of today's show, but be sure to join us again tomorrow. Until then, keep the link. Stay connected via our website, gis.gov.jm. We welcome your feedback, so keep sending your comments to Jamaica Magazine at gis.gov.jm or via tweet at JIS News. On behalf of the production crew, I'm Audrey Williams. Have a pleasant evening.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.